Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe out there. Today's video we are going to discuss all the brands in WWE currently and their current ongoings and major talking points. We are going to start with Elimination Chamber from this past Sunday. The first match of the night was, in my opinion, the best match. I thought the pay-per-view in general was decent. It was okay. I don't even know if I'd go good, but it was a show that I watched. Not terrible, but you know, I mean, when you're following, you know, the prior event, TakeOver, you know, you got your work cut out for you anyways, but even if we it's not really fair to compare that. If we put those aside, I still think there's some things they could have improved on in this show. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Elimination Chamber, first match of the night, I thought was the best match. Not that it was like a match of the year candidate or even a fantastic match, but from my choices of the night, I'm going to go with this one for match of the night. This was the men's elimination chamber on the SmackDown side. I like the outcome. I like Kevin and Sammy. I like Kevin Owens, but he was mean to Sammy, so, you know, kind of happy he didn't win there. I like Cesaro, but he's been mean to Seth, so I'm happy he didn't win. Well, that's mean to say. It would have been kind of cool if Cesaro won, honestly. But I am also looking forward to the Cesaro and Seth Rollins feud. Daniel Bryan pulled this one off, though. Totally happy for him for about 30 seconds before Roman Reigns came out. Daniel Bryan did look like he had a chance for a minute there in the match. It was enough to give us a tiny bit of hope. But, you know, you kind of knew when Roman's music hit how this one was going to go. You just had Daniel Bryan survive an elimination chamber after starting it off, too. Him and Cesaro were the ones that started off, and if that isn't enough to show you that somebody somewhere out there is listening to us WWE fans, we did open that chamber match with Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro, so thank you to WWE for that. That was a nice little treat. You know, so that definitely is one of the factors that ranks this match high on my list. Daniel Bryan lost to Roman Reigns and then was interrupted with a spear by Edge. Spear from Edge to Roman. Edge points at the WrestleMania sign, pretty much solidifying his choice with which champion he wants to take on at WrestleMania in a surprise to pretty much nobody. Finn is quite busy on NXT right now. Drew, you know, we'll get to that later. And he's no longer a viable option. But anyways, I think Edge versus Roman was the way to go with for Edge's WrestleMania pick. The second chamber match of the night was Drew defending his WWE title in the Elimination Chamber, which is tough enough, and I was hoping he'd at least be one of the guys to start it, or not to start it, that he'd be the last one to enter, I mean. At least throw the guy a bone in some capacity here. He had to defend his title in that match. Not in any match versus multiple people, but in an Elimination Chamber match. But he did manage to defy the odds. Drew McIntyre managed to retain. Of course, this was an opportune time for The Miz to come and cash in. A lot of varying opinions there. I don't know. At first, okay, watching this live, I will admit, you know, as a fan, I did not like this because I wish Drew's title reign could have extended to WrestleMania. It was sad to see Drew McIntyre lose his title already. I wasn't ready for that title reign to be over. But looking back on it now, Miz cashing in, not a good night for the faces. But I don't know, it really wasn't a bad decision though. A lot of people were saying, oh, you know, after Elimination Chamber match, you know, Miz cashed in. I'm looking so forward to them shaking up the title scene. Yeah, because I'm really looking forward to Miz versus Bad Bunny main eventing WrestleMania. You know, I guess we are shaking up that title scene. So, but no, it was interesting. I just didn't know if Number one, I wasn't ready for Drew McIntyre's title reign to be over. And number two, I wasn't sure Miz was the right guy at the right time for this spot. Taking nothing away from the Miz, of course. It felt a little weird to me, a little off. I don't know, the timing just wasn't right. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta trust the process, because in the end, I will say, even all that debate that I just went through with you guys, my initial reactions, my afterthoughts on it, this was the right call because it is giving us a Miz and Lashley feud, which I am so on board with. Lashley, this is not his first, run at the big spotlight, but honestly, I think that this is the best Lashley has ever looked in the entirety of his WWE career. Some people may argue that point, that's fine. But Lashley, the thing with Lashley, okay, he's great in the ring, but he kind of comes off, he's got those big bug eyes, and he's not great on the mic. Sometimes he comes off a little goofy. So that's always kind of been my problem with Lashley, not necessarily Lashley the wrestler, but Lashley the character, which is why he's in the Hurt Business, because talking is not his strong point. However, the stuff he did on Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, best stuff of his career. He was mad about losing his title at Elimination Chamber. He had so much intensity and so much fire. Even his promo was fantastic on Raw. Fantastic. Lashley is firing on all cylinders right now. That's all I can say. This is just I am being redundant now, the greatest work of Lashley's career, in my opinion. I hope he wins. They had on Raw, Miz versus Lashley versus, for some freaking reason, Braun Strowman, managed to weasel his way back into the picture. If Lashley wins, it will be Lashley versus Miz only. If Braun Strowman wins, he is getting put into the match for next week's Raw. Lashley managed to win, so it will just be Miz versus Lashley. I am really hoping Lashley pulls this off. I'm thinking the Hurt Business. They even had a match on Raw, and Cedric and Shelton didn't even argue. They actually got along. Hurt Business firing on all cylinders. They're looking great. They are on the top of their game, waiting for Lashley to take it home for them. Go Lashley. All right, so back to the Chamber, though. I know we left out some stuff in the middle, even though one of those things did include Sasha. The middle of the pay-per-view just kind of floundered for me. I think they really did themselves a disservice, which is how this card went and was structured. I mean, we only had, 5 matches, and one of them was super short, where Roman beat Daniel Bryan. It felt like almost, I don't know how long this pay-per-view even was, but it almost felt like it was, less than TakeOver length. It didn't make sense. It did, half of the card was chamber entrances. It felt like it was lacking. There was no men's tag title matches. There was no United States title match. There was no women's singles title match. And, yes, the stuff with Lacey and Asuka, I believe, could have and should have been replaced. They could have gave Asuka a new challenger. I'm sure she would have been, willing to take that on, even at short notice. They could have had a number 1 contenders match. There's so much more they could have done, but the main thing I wish they would have done, and I felt like this pay-per-view really, really suffered for this, was not having a women's chamber match. My biggest complaint of the whole pay-per-view. So, but speaking of things I'm not complaining about, here's a little sly segue for you. We're going to hop on over to 205 and try and go through the rest of the brands real quick, because we're already coming up on over 9 minutes here. So 205, no complaints there from me. A lot of my favorites, did great. Good matches and victorious. Mansoor and Kurt Stallion, Jake Atlas, Shanti the Adonis, one of my very, very favorites. Love him. Love Mansoor as well. They defeated Bali Rise, who is not on a roll lately. They are on a losing streak. Bali Rise, if you don't follow 205, which you should, is a combination of the Bollywood boys and Ever Rise. Kind of formed a little friendship, little bromance thing going on with them, and they've been partnering up. One from each team, or in this case, all four. But all four was not even enough to take down Mansoor, Kurt Stallion, Jake Atlas, and Ashanti the Adonis. We're victorious. And also, speaking of happy victories, my dude, my favorite on 205 right now, Arya Daivari. He defeated August Gray, and I stopped for a second there because when I said my favorite Daivari, it sounds weird. Not because I don't love Daivari, but I thought for a second, I was like, where's Kendrick? I miss Kendrick. But he was always somebody that was really important to me in my own career as well. I used his finisher. I love Brian Kendrick, and I miss him. Arya Daivari, though, my current favorite out of the active 205 roster, defeated August Gray. Arya Daivari is on a major roll here. We got to take a second here just to talk about some of the main players in 205. Two of the ones that I want to bring up are Mansoor, who they keep telling us and keep reminding us every week on 205 Live that this man is still undefeated on 205 Live. What more does he have to do to get in the title conversation? Arya Daivari, every week, picking up victories. When is Arya Daivari, a 205 original, gonna get a title shot? That is what I am waiting for. Oh, somebody give that man a title shot. UK, we're gonna hop across the pond, talk about UK real quick. My favorite match of the night, the first match of the night, the Heritage Cup match between Heritage Cup winner, A-Kid versus Sha Samuels. I really like the story going into this match. I like the story in the match as well. I like everything Sha Samuels is doing right now. He's really coming into his own and showing a lot of personality, both in and out of the ring. This match came about because Noam Dar is buddies with Sha Samuel and was able to get Sha Samuels a Heritage Cup match. And, Sha Samuels has been improving greatly lately. I love the intensity that he brings. I love the seriousness that he brings. I love his style. Unfortunately, not enough to get the job done against A-Kid. A-Kid won that match. Ben Carter continues to shine against, he was victorious in his match against Josh Morrell. Then we had a press conference with Meiko Satomura and Kaylee Ray. I don't know about you guys, but I really believe, even though they are already giving Meiko a title match, and so much hype coming in, I think that for those reasons, Kaylee is the one that wanted this match, which kind of explains why Meiko kind of got to cut the line. But she deserves to. And I think that she might actually be the one to finally take that title off Kaylee Ray. And your main event of the night, oh my god, this was a great match as well. And yeah, I was so happy with this. I kind of had a feeling it was going to go this way, but I'm really, really excited. Rampage Brown versus Joe Coffey. Rampage Brown ended up picking up the win in what some could consider an upset. I do not, because have you seen Rampage Brown? Like, wow. He has the look, he has the build, he has the style, he has that powerhouse intensity, hard-hitting style. He is so fun to watch. He's so impressive to watch. He's rising up the ranks. Another one in NXT UK. Rising up the ranks very quickly that I think it's not going to be in the too far off future that the possibility of him versus Walter would be, and that's a match that I would be greatly looking forward to. All right, guys, we got about an hour and a half till NXT. Tonight should be a fun one. Let's see what Adam Cole has to say for himself. So I'm guessing... hopefully we'll get some real answers from Adam Cole, but they are saying that Adam Cole is going to go out today and explain himself, and he sure does have some explaining to do. So let's see what Adam Cole has to say tonight, guys. Hope you enjoy the show. Hope you enjoyed my show, and if you did, please do not forget to subscribe, hit that little notification bell, tell your friends, like, comment on the video, tell me what you thought of Elimination Chamber, what was your favorite match of the Chamber, what was your favorite, or match of the show, what was your favorite match of the week from any of the shows, and I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night. Bye. Mwah.